So, usually with these reviews, I will write a script out for them first, but with Monster Hunter, I feel that it's one of those games that I can just talk about. And that's what I'm going to do with this review. I don't want to write it out because if you haven't noticed, when I write out a review, I come across pretty robotic, and that's really not what I want. But with Monster Hunter Wilds, this has really quickly became one of my favourite games in the Monster Hunter series. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is still at the very tippy top for me, but base game Monster Hunter Wilds is getting up there. Now, the one main thing that I don't like about the game, and I'm going to talk about that straight away, is the storyline. I feel that it actively tries to stop you from hunting monsters. It's there just to push things forward, but at the same time, it locks you into too many areas where you can't go and do what you want. And that's something really weird for the first fully open world Monster Hunter game. It gives you this massive map at the start, the Wilds, I'm going to call it Wildspire Waste, the desert, and when you get the ability to, you can go straight to the next one, the forest, and then from there on you can just walk between or ride your secret between every map on the game, and that is something that I love. But during certain parts of the story, you are locked out from doing that, and I find that just to be a really stupid decision. Talk to Alma, maybe in a second. I'm going to go exploring. No! When you're in your first base camp and you just want to go hunt a Chatacabra at the start of the game, you need to wait until Alma and Isai have taken you to Kanafa village, and I just wanted to go out and kill something. So that's the part that really annoyed me about the game, that the storyline tries to stop you from doing what you want to do. But now let's get into what I actually enjoyed about the game. Now, I played this in the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I've got to admit, there is some issues with performance and the graphics here and there, but the graphic side of things, I think it's more of PSSR messing up. I don't really know how it looks on the base model of the PlayStation 5, but I do know that with the PS5 Pro, PSSR does make it look less blurry than the Xbox Series X version, as you've probably seen from my most recent video. But graphically, it is a fantastic looking game. I adore the design decisions that they've made during this game. Each map is just amazingly designed. With Monster Hunter World, I liked a lot of them, but the starting map, the forest, I felt the map was confusing at times. Even if I were to go back to it now and I know the map pretty well, I'd still get lost, which is weird. But with Wilds, I pretty much know the maps perfectly now, so that's something that's not going to bother me too much with that. And performance-wise, again, with the PlayStation 5 Pro, the main times that I seen any sort of performance dip was right after a cutscene, or if I'm fast traveling from one area to another. At that point, the game will jutter a little bit, but it doesn't last too long, and I personally haven't seen anything too egregious during actual gameplay. And speaking of gameplay, I think this game is almost perfect in levels of gameplay. each of the weapons, especially the ones that I like using, like the charge blade, the insect glaive, the longsword, the switch axe, the dual blades, things like that, and the bow, have all had pretty much a good amount of upgrades. I think the only downgrade is the charge blade, and that's just because you can't use your SAED straight away. Understand why you're not able to use it straight away, because you can just spam it and it would be slightly overpowered. But there is a new optimal combo for the charge blade, so you don't really need to use the SAED as often. And as I went through the game with the charge blade, I found myself drifting more towards the insect glaive near the end of the game, and it is the weapon that I use most often when I'm playing either on my own or with friends, or if I just join someone randomly. Because while insect glaive is good in the air in all games and good on the ground in all games, I think that being on the ground with the insect glaive in wild is the optimal way to play the insect glaive. Haven't used too many of the weapons other than the charge blade and the insect glaive to a massive degree, but I have been experimenting with the greatsword, which is a weapon I tend to avoid, and I am enjoying it. It's a lot of fun having those big meaty hits just slapping the monster in the head. I haven't tried the hammer out yet. I tried it during the beta, but there has been changes since then, so I can't really talk about that at the moment. I want to try the heavy bowgun because one of my friends uses it and he thinks it's really good, so maybe one day I'll do that too. But let's talk about the multiplayer aspect of the game, because it can be a little confusing at the start. There's so many different ways where you can link up with your friends, where you have your link party and then your environmental link and then your private lobbies and then your squad lobbies, and they all just do different things. And the most annoying part of that is the environmental link. When you're in an environmental link, you cannot do quests, which I think is silly. Link quests or link parties are probably the best way to do it if you don't have a squad, because that lets everybody in your link party know that you've just posted a quest, and if they want to join, they can. That's probably the quickest way to do that, other than telling your friends on Discord, I've just posted a quest, join if you want, I'm hunting this monster. So I think that's just annoying more than anything. I think there's too many menus to go through. It should just be click this and join your friends. And speaking of quests, I don't think there's enough. With previous Monster Hunter games, you had your 1-star quest, your 2-star quest, 3-star, blah blah blah, and there was a multitude of quests inside each of those star categories. I feel like only having a select few optional quests is more annoying than anything else. I feel it limits the content. There should be multiple levels to it, and even if you have the same monster in a 1-star quest and a 2-star quest, the monster should be slightly more difficult in the 2-star quest than it is in the 1-star. And that's something that I think is a missed opportunity, because it would have given a little bit more depth to the game and would have had a bit more of a difficulty curve. Speaking of the difficulty, at the start of the game, yeah, very easy. And at the end of the game, yeah, still pretty easy. But I think because I've been playing the games for so long, that's why I find them so easy. Someone just coming into Monster Hunter now definitely wouldn't find the starting quests easy. They might find the opening Chupacabra easy, but the Chemitrice, maybe not. And then when you get to the high rank monsters where the Gore Magala is, definitely not. Because Gore Magala from 4 Ultimate 2 Wilds has had quite a buff, and I love it. It is one of my favourite monsters to fight. Even the tempered version of it is probably the most challenging monster in the game right now. But with Title Update 1, that's definitely going to change. And if the leaks I've seen are true, then definitely something I'm going to be playing a lot. But I think I will end my review here. If I was to give this a score out of 10 for the base game, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. That's how much I love this game. Right now I have, let me just load in, about 170 hours in the game, and an extra hour on another. That's just on one character, and an extra hour on a second character, and an hour on my Xbox version as well. So a little bit of this game has been my whole life. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye now.